वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधूतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। We all can chant together.
Okay.
Vasudevendra Yogindram Nattva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidiyate. साधन चतुष्टयस्य संपन्नादि मोक्ष. Okay, I think I will say you can repeat after me.
Okay.
साधन चतुष्टय संपन्नाधिकारिणां
साधन चतुष्टय संपन्नाधिकारिणां
मोक्ष साधन
भूतम्
तत्व विवेक प्रकारं वक्ष्यामः. साधन चतुष्टयं किम्?
साधन चतुष्टयं किम्?
नित्यानित्य वस्तु विवेकः.
नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः.
इहामुत्रार्थ फलभोग विरागः.
इहामुत्रार्थ फलभोग विरागः.
क्षमादिषट्क सम्पत्तिः.
क्षमादिषट्क सम्पत्तिः.
मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति.
मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति.
नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः कः?
नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः कः?
नित्यवस्तु एकं ब्रह्म तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वम् अनित्यम्. अयम् एव नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः.
नित्यवस्तु एकं ब्रह्म तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वम् अनित्यम्. अयमेव नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः.
विरागः कः?
विरागः कः?
इह स्वर्गभोगेषु इच्छाराहित्यम्.
इह स्वर्गभोगेषु इच्छाराहित्यम्.
क्षमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः का?
क्षमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः का?
शमः दमः उपरमः तितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति.
शमः दमः उपरमः तितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति
शमः कः
शमः कः
मनोनिग्रहः
मनोनिग्रहः
दमः कः
दमः कः
चक्षुरादि इन्द्रियनिग्रहः
चक्षुरादि इन्द्रियनिग्रहः
उपरमः कः
उपरमः कः
स्वधर्मानुष्ठानम् एव
स्वधर्मानुष्ठानम् एव
तितिक्षा का
तितिक्षा का
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखादिसहिष्णुत्वम्
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखादिसहिष्णुत्वम्
श्रद्धा कीदृशी
श्रद्धा कीदृशी
गुरुवेदान्तवाक्येषु विश्वासः श्रद्धा
गुरुवेदान्तवाक्येषु विश्वासः श्रद्धा
समाधानं किम्
समाधानं किम्
चित्तैकाग्रता
चित्तैकाग्रता
मुक्तत्वं किम्
मुमुक्षुत्वं किम्
मोक्षो मे भूयात् इच्छा
मोक्षो मे भूयादितिच्छा
एतत् साधनचतुष्टयम्
एतत् साधनचतुष्टयम्
अयं ततः तत्त्वविवेकस्य अधिकारिणः भवन्ति
ततः तत्त्वविवेकस्य अधिकारिणः भवन्ति
तत्त्वविवेकः कः
तत्त्वविवेकः कः
आत्मा सत्यः तदन्यत् सर्वं मिथ्या इति
आत्मा सत्यः तदन्यत् सर्वं मिथ्या इति
आत्मा कः
आत्मा कः
स्थूलसूक्ष्मकारणशरीरात् व्यतिरिक्तः पञ्चकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थात्रयसाक्षी सच्चिदानन्दरूपः सन् यः तिष्ठति स आत्मा
स्थूलसूक्ष्मकारणशरीरात् व्यतिरिक्तः पञ्चकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थात्रयसाक्षी सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपः सन् यत्तिष्ठति स आत्मा
स्थूलशरीरं किम्
स्थूलशरीरं किम्
पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतैः
पञ्चमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यम्
सुखदुःखादिभोगायतनं शरीरम्
सुखदुःखादिभोगायतनं शरीरम्
अस्ति जायते वर्धते विपरिणमते अपक्षीयते विनश्यति इति
अस्ति जायते वर्धते विपरिणमते अपक्षीयते विनश्यत इति विनश्यति इति
षड्विकारवत् एतत् स्थूलशरीरम्
षड्विकारवत् एतत् स्थूलशरीरम्
सूक्ष्मशरीरं किम्
सूक्ष्मशरीरं किम्
अपञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादिभोगसाधनम्
अपञ्चीकृतमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादिभोगसाधनम्
पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चप्राणादयः
पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चप्राणादयः
मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका एवं
मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका एवं
सप्तदशकलाभिः सह यत् तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्मशरीरम्
दशकलाभिः सह यत् तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्मशरीरम्.
Not dashakalaभिः, saptadashakalaभिः. 17 components are there.
एवं सप्तदशकलाभिः सह यत् तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्मशरीरम्.
श्रोत्रं त्वक् चक्षुरसनाघ्राणम् इति पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि.
श्रोत्रं त्वक् चक्षु रसना घ्राणम् इति पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि.
श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता.
श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता
वचो वायुः.
त्वचो वायुः.
चक्षुषः सूर्यः.
चक्षुषः सूर्यः.
रसनायाः वरुणः.
रसनायाः वरुणः.
घ्राणस्य अश्विनौ.
घ्राणस्य अश्विनौ.
इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियदेवताः.
इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियदेवताः.
Up to this, we saw in the last class. We were discussing Pancha Jnanendriyani, 5 sense organs of perception, and their corresponding Adhisthana Devatas. These Pancha Jnanendriyani and Adhisthana Devata, these things what we discussed, it is all a discussion on the part of, as a part of Sukshma Shariram. We can recall that the Sukshma Shariram, it has Saptadashakala, 17 components. What we are doing now is, we are taking component by component and discussing elaborately as a part of discussion between the teacher and the student. Guru Shishya Samvada. Shishya asked a question, what is Sukshma Shariram? And Guru gave the definition. And each word of the definition is taken for further discussion. We saw in the last class that Adhisthana Devata is the presiding principle over a particular total faculty. The power of seeing, the power of hearing, the power of smelling, the power of touching, the power of tasting, these powers, the powers of the faculty what I enjoy, the powers in me, in you, and in everybody, it is blessed by the corresponding total power, Adhisthana Devatas. As an individual, the faculties what I enjoy is only a part of the total. An individual shares or enjoys a part of the total. If this faculty is not in the total, then the individual will not be able to enjoy it. As an individual, I enjoy different faculties. These faculties, these powers, they don't stand independent of me. They don't function independent of me. The power of sight doesn't exist independent of me. The power of audibility doesn't exist independent of me. Like heat and fire, they don't exist independently. So too, these faculties, they don't exist independent of the individual. All these faculties, they are wielded by me, a conscious being. when there is a faculty, when there is the power what we enjoy, that it doesn't exist independently or doesn't function independently. It is always wielded by a conscious being, a conscious person. Similarly, the corresponding total power associated with each faculty cannot exist independently. The corresponding total power must be associated with a conscious principle, and that conscious principle is called Adhisthana Devata. That is why, for us, everything is sacred. There is something called secular. Everything is sacred, because everything is nothing but Ishvara. Everything is Ishvara is not a matter of belief, it's a matter of understanding. Therefore, Adhisthana Devata is that one who presides over a particular total faculty. Adhisthana Devata is one who presides over a particular total faculty, whereas Ishvara, he presides over the collective total faculty. Ishvara presides over the sum total of all the faculties. In fact, Adhisthana Devata is not separate from Ishvara. Therefore, we can infer that in every faculty what I enjoy, there is a blessing of Ishvara. Ishvara is there. Ishvara is there in my seeing. Ishvara is there in my hearing, in my smelling, my touch, in all the perception. Ishvara is there. I'm always connected to Ishvara. I'm never away from the blessings of Ishvara. I'm able to enjoy these powers or use these powers only because of Ishvara. It is Ishvara. I'm not separate from Ishvara. How? I'm aware of the blessings of Ishvara in the functioning of my individual organs, in the functioning of my individual sense organs. I'm aware of the blessings of the collective total faculty, Ishvara. Unless these faculties are there as a collective thing, then I won't be able to enjoy that. This is a blessing of Ishvara. Therefore, I am always connected to Ishvara through the Devatas. When my ears pick up Shabda, sound, it is the blessings of Dig Devata. Dig Devata is an aspect of Ishvara. Is Ishvara. When my eyes pick up forms and shapes, it is because of the blessings of Surya Devata. Is another aspect of Ishvara. When my tongue picks up some taste, it is a blessings of Bodha Devata. Is another aspect of Ishvara. Therefore, we can say that I can never be away from the recognition of Ishvara. I am never away from Ishvara. And Ishvara is Sarvajnaha, is omniscient, the all knowledge. He is the creator of this Jagat. He is the creator of this Nama Rupatmakam Jagat. This Jagat is nothing but Nama and Rupa, names and forms. Ishvara being the creator, being the Upadana Karanam, he has all knowledge. Being the creator, Upadana Karanam, he is an intelligent cause. He has all knowledge, he is omniscient. And being the material cause, Nimitta Karanam, Ishvara is manifest in the form of the whole Jagat, the form of everything in the Jagat. And everything in the Jagat being a name for a given form, everything in the Jagat being a Nama for a given Rupa, a Nama is nothing. A Nama, a name is nothing but the meaning, the knowledge. So, everything is a manifestation of Ishvara's all knowledge. And all knowledge can be understood only in the form of the various orders in the Jagat, whether it is physical order or physiological order or psychological order or even the order of karma, the order of dharma, anything you take. So each total faculty to which the individual faculty is connected is functioning in keeping with these various orders. If that is so, every aspect of a given order becomes Adhisthana Devata. The individual body, mind, sense complex, it functions only within these various orders. And there is a connection between the functioning of the faculties and the Devatas. From the standpoint of the total eyes, vision, Ishvara becomes Surya Devata, blessing all our eyes to enjoy the power of vision. This is well within the order in the form of light as well as the power of sight. So everything is manifestation of one Ishvara in the form of various Adhisthana Devatas. The Ishvara, when looked from a given standpoint, is Devata. Did Devata, Did Vayu, Suryaha, Varunaha, Ashvina, they are all Devatas. When we say this, Dit Vayu, Suryaha, Varunaha, Ashvina, we should not take the literal meaning of these words. Dit means not just a quarters, direction. Vayu is not just a wind. What we mean by these words is the Devata, the Shakti behind which it operates. That must be understood clearly. We have many Devatas, and they are not separate from Ishvara. So everything being Ishvara, what is here is only Ishvara. That is the vision of our Shastra. Therefore, we don't say that there are many gods. Nor do we say there is only one God. What we say is there is only God. There is nothing apart from Ishvara alone. Since the Tattvaryam of Shastra is in recognition of the essential oneness between the Jiva and the Ishvara, the discussion of Vyashti, the individual, is important as Samashti. The discussion of Jiva is important as Ishvara, because the Tattvaryam is Jiveshvara Aikyam between the Jiva and Ishvara. Therefore, both the Samashti and Vyashti has to be discussed. And if you look at Samashti, the individual is an important part of the Samashti. Without individual, there is no Samashti. Because Samashti includes Vyashti. Minus Vyashti, there is no Samashti. Therefore, since you are being here with the body, mind, sense, complex, it's important, and it's important in the scheme of things in the Ishvara's manifestation. So it must be discussed. As an individual, I am endowed with this Panchat Jnanendriyani, 5 sense organs of perception. So, and this sense organs of perception, the power operating behind, is a part of the corresponding total faculty. So, Vyashti and Samashti comes together, just to be discussed. Okay, and this Panchat Jnanendriyani, what I am endowed with, by Ishvara, Bhagavan, what is its function? What is the scope of this sense organs? Though we discussed before, here the author, he discusses the next topic. You can see your slide, which I am sharing now, then chant with me then. Shrotrasya Vishayah Shabdagrahanam.
Shrotrasya Vishaya Shabdagrahanam.
Tvacho Vishayah Sparshagrahanam.
Vishaya Sparshagrahanam.
Chakshusho Vishayah Rupagrahanam.
Chakshusho Vishaya Rupagrahanam.
Rasanaya Vishayah Rasagrahanam.
Rasanaya Vishaya Rasagrahanam.
Ghanasya Vishayah Gandhagrahanam.
Granasya Vishaya Gandhagrahanam.
Okay. Though we discussed this before in a different context, here the author specifically mentions, so we can discuss this. There are 5 sense organs, Pancha Jnanendriyani, and each Jnanendriya has its own Vishaya. Vishaya means the object. Object that the sense organs can grasp. That is a Vishaya. Vishaya of that sense organ. And these Vishayas are well known as Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. So Grahanam means, here Grahanam is there. Grahanam means reception, recognition, experiencing, grasping, Grahanam. Here the sense organs are defined in terms of the recognition of its objects. Every sense organ is defined in terms of the recognition of the corresponding objects. So Vishaya can also be translated as the field of operation. The sense organ which operates in a given field. Shrotrasya Vishaya Shabda Grahanam. Okay, here it is Rasanayaha Vishaya Rasagrahanam, Gandhagrahanam. This Gandhagrahanam, Rasagrahanam, they are all one word actually. It is not separate word. Okay. Shotrasya Vishaya Shabdagrahanam, Vacho Vishaya Parshagrahanam. With all this, there is no Visarga after Rasaha, there is no Visarga after Gandha. Because Rasagrahanam, Gandhagrahanam, it is one word actually. It's a typo, and also going through that. Okay, I will correct it in the next class, but you can understand now. Rasanayaha Vishayaha Rasagrahanam. Rasagrahanam is one word. Rupagrahanam, one word. Parshagrahanam is one word. Shabdagrahanam is one word. Shabdasya Grahanam, Shabdagrahanam. The samasa, it's a compound. Similarly, Gandhagrahanam. Gandhasya Grahanam. It's not Gandhaha Grahanam. That's wrong. Okay. Anyway, I'll correct that slide in the next class. Shrotrasya Vishayaha Shabdagrahanam. The perception of sound, it is the function of the Shrotam. The perception of sound is a cognition of sound. The functional field of Shrotam is the cognition of sound. Though ears may have many functions other than hearing, but here, as a sense organ, it is meant only to receive sound. Shabda Grahanam. Therefore, Shotrasya Vishayaha, the functional field of ear is Shabda Grahanam. So this reception of sound. Receiving the sound and you cognize the sound. You can recognize the thing or the person making that sound based on its reception. Second one, Pacho Vishayaha Sparsha Grahanam. Pachaha means, it is, Tok is skin. Pachaha is Shashti Vibhuti. Tok, Pachau, Pachaha, Pacham, Pachau, Pachaha, it is, that's how it is different. Chakaranta. So when you define, it becomes Tok, Pachau, Pachaha. Shashti Vibhuti is Pachaha, yet Pachau, because of Sandhi. So the functional field of this thing, Tok, is the cognition of touch. And this cognition is spread all over the body. It is the only sense organ which pervades the entire body. To experience hot or cold or the soft or the hardness, how do you do that? By touch. The only sense organ which we can use is skin. So Tacho Vishayaha Sparsha Grahanam. The perception of sound is the object of, is a functional area of skin. Chakshusho Vishayaha Rupa Grahanam. The functional field of the eyes is the cognition of Rupa. Rupa here is could be the colors and forms. Rupa means colors. In Sanskrit, rupaha means colors, but it can also mean forms. Therefore, forms and colors. Okay. And rasanaya vishayaha rasagrahanam. The functional field of the tongue is the cognition of taste. Rasaha. Tongue as a function of identifying, recognizing the taste. Is it the only function? No, the tongue has the other function also. It has the additional function of aiding our speech. Without tongue, you cannot speak. But here, as a sense organ, it is meant only for, as a sense organ, it is meant for taste. How do I know that here, as a sense organ, it is only for taste? Because the Adhisthana Devata of tongue is Varuna. Therefore, taste. As a speech organ, Adhisthana Devata of tongue is Saraswati. Saraswati Devata. Therefore, here, Rasanayaha Vishayaha Rasagraham. That is, the functional field of the tongue is only the cognition of taste. Granasya Vishayaha Gandhagrahanam. The functional field of the nose is the recognition of smell. Again here, Granasya Anekani Karyani Bhavan. Granasya, Grana has got, the nose has got many functions. Breathing is also the function of nose. But here, as a sense organ, the Grahana Vishayam is smell. Gandha Grahana. Here we must understand one thing. We are not really grasping any substance with the sense organs. Our sense organs are meant only for grasping the 5 different properties, the qualities of the elements. Panchabhutaha is there. Everything in the creation is made up of Panchabhuta, and every object in the creation has the property. It is nothing but a mixture of these 5 elements. Therefore, 5 properties, and there are 5 sense organs. The sense organs are meant only to grasp these 5 different properties, or the mixture of these 5 different properties. That is why in the scriptures, the whole world is divided into 5 segments: sound, smell, taste, form, touch, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, grahana, gandha. We cannot classify the world based on the objects, as there are so many objects. Since objects are nothing but a mixture of one or more of these properties, it is easy and also intelligent to classify the world based on 5 elements. Panchabhutatmakam Jagat. Therefore, the world is classified into 5 segments based on this sensory perception. Even our desire to enjoy an object is nothing but enjoying the properties of the object, not the object as such. If you analyze carefully, what we enjoy, what is not really the object. When I see an object, what I see is the color or the shape, the form of the object. We never see an object. We always see the properties, but never the substance. We don't know what the substance is. We don't know really what the world is. When we say we are experiencing the world without knowing really what the world is. What we experience is only the properties. Our sense organs, it never perceive the substance. They perceive only the properties. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. Sound is a property of the thing. Smell is another property. Taste, another property. Touch, another. Therefore, the Vishaya, the field of perception of the 5 sense organs, are nothing but the 5-fold properties of the entire world. Through the 5 sense organs, we receive knowledge. And through 5 sense organs of action, that is going to be discussed next, we express ourselves in the form of action. That is what is the author is going to say now. Pancha Karmendriya. Vak, Pani, Pada. You can repeat after me.
Vak, Pani, Pada.
Payu, Upasthani.
Payu, Upasthani.
Iti Pancha Karmendriyani.
Iti Pancha Karmendriyani.
Okay. The 5 sense organs of action. The first one, Vak. Vak means the organ of speech. Panihi. Pani is hand. Padaha, leg. Payuhu. Payuhu is the anus, the organ of evacuation. Upasthani. Upasthani. Upastaha. It is the organ of creation or procreation. Here we must remember 2 things. We are discussing Karmendriyani as a part of Sukshma Shariram in the context of what Atma is not. These 5 organs of action, they form a part of the Sukshma Sharira. And also here we should remind ourselves that we are talking about the Indriyam, not the Golakam. We are not referring to the physical part. We are referring to the Indriyam. So Vak means speech, not the physical organ, but the Shakti, the power behind the physical organ. The physical part is called Golakam, which may be there in a person, even the person who cannot speak, who is dumb. But here by Vak we refer to the invisible faculty because of which the tongue is able to do its job of expression. That invisible power, the Shakti, is called Vak Shakti or Vagendriya, the organ of speech. Similarly, hand is not a physical part, but the power behind that which operates. The power to move, the power to lift, the power to throw. So the power operating behind the hand, because of which we are able to do a lot of things. Various tasks is Panihi. A man with paralysis may have Golakam, may have hand, but not the Panindriya. In the culture other than Vedic, you will not find this concept. According to the other culture, the hand and power, they go together. But for us, both are different. One is a physical part and the other is the invisible power operating behind the physical part. Therefore, we have 2 parts, 2 words, Golakam and Indriyam. You have to understand, you have to separately understand from the context. The same way for all the 5 Indriyas. Padaha, foot or leg. The pair of legs we have is Pado, feet. They are meant for movement, mobility. Because of them we are mobile. So Padaha refers to the power of movement, power of locomotion. Payuhu. Payuhu is the sense organ which removes the waste from the body. The wastage removal is possible only because of this Payu. Wastage removal from our body is done by the Payu. Our body is like a big factory. This factory takes in a lot of raw material, the form of food. And these raw materials are processed and these essential things are separated and converted to energy. And after separating the essentials from the non-essentials have to be discharged. They have to be disposed of. And these waste have to be evacuated from the body. Otherwise it becomes a problem. And that which does the job is Payu. The organ which does this job is called Payu, the waste removing organ. Both the solid as well as the liquid waste. The next one is Upastaha. Upastaha is the organ of reproduction. Whenever I say the organ of reproduction, you must understand we are not referring to the physical part, but we are not referring to the golakam, but to the power. That's the indriya. So here, the organ by which every living being reproduces and perpetuates its parampara, that lineage, is called upastaha. Okay. Any organ is an organ, whether it is an organ of perception or an organ of action. For an organ to be an organ, it must have the physical part and also the Shakti operating behind that. Without the physical part of the Shakti, an organ will not be an organ, will not function. The physical part is part of the Sthula Sharira and the power is the part of the Sukshma Sharira. Now, similar to the Devatas, what we discussed in the context of Jnanendriyani, the author will be mentioning the Devatas of this Pancha Karmendriya. You can repeat after me. Vacho Devata Vannihi.
Vacho Devata Vannihi.
Here I told you before, this Vannihi, you can say that Hakara is also pronounced as Hakara, Vannihi. And you should not say Vahnihi or Vannihi, that's not correct. But particularly when Ha and this Danta Nakara or Ha or this Murdanya Nakara comes, that Nakara should be pronounced first and then Hakara. Okay, that is the rule. And in the tradition you will find they won't say even one like Brahma, Brahma, they don't say, they won't say Brahma, they say Brahma. Similarly, Vanni. Okay, that you must understand. Therefore, Vannihi. It's very easy. There is no complication. Vacho Devata Vannihi.
Vacho Devata Vannihi.
Astayor Indraha.
Hastayor Indraha.
Astayoho Indraha. Okay, all Shashti Bhakti. Astayoho Indraha. Why Astayoho? Two hands are there. Therefore, Astayoho Indraha. Padayor Vishnuhu.
Padayor Vishnuhu.
Payor Mrityuhu.
Payor Mrityuhu.
Upasthasya Prajapatihi.
Upasthasya Prajapatihi.
Iti Karmendriya Devata.
Iti Karmendriya Devataha.
Devata.
Oh.
Karmendriya Devata.
Plural, right?
Iti Karmendriya
Devataha. Isn't it? So many of them. Devata is singular.
Yeah, Karmendriya Devataha. Iti Karmendriya Devataha should be there. Most of the times I find only Karmendriya Devata only. No, right? Karmendriya Devataha would be Karmendriyani. Karmendriya Devataha should be correct. Karmendriya Devataha only. This is wrong actually. Okay.
Yeah.
Devata is Akaranta Srelina. Karmendriya Devataha. Okay. It's probably wrong in my slide. Correct in the next class. Okay. Now, the Adhisthana Devata for speech. Speech is Vannihi. Vannihi is fire. Fire, not a physical fire. Okay, Vannihi Devata. Adhisthana Devata. When we think it is a physical something, then we will not have the respect for that. But when we say Adhisthana Devata, then naturally that Shraddha comes, that reverence comes. For hands, it is Indra Devata, Indra. For feet, Padayoho Vishnu. For feet, it is Vishnu. Payoho. Payoho is the organ of excretion. Excretion is Mrityu, Lord Yama. Upasthasya. For the organs, genital organs, it is Prajapati. Upasthasya, Prajapati. Here we have to add Devata to each word. Vanni Devata, Indra Devata, Vishnu Devata, Mriti Devata, Prajapati. Prajapati also Devata. Everybody is a Devata. Prajapati is Brahma, Brahma Devata. Here also you can see the connection between the organs and the presiding deity. The deity for the organ of Vak is Vannihi, Agnihi. Agnihi means not the physical fire but the Agni Devata. Why Agnihi? What is the connection between Vak and Agnihi? Agnihi and Vak, they have some connection. We know that fire has got two aspects, light and heat. Light and heat. Similarly, when we open our mouth, there are two possibilities. One is, we can throw the light. When you speak, you throw light on the topic under discussion. You share your knowledge. Therefore, you are throwing light on the topic that is under discussion. It means you explain or unfold the topic because you have knowledge. It's expressed through your speaking. As you can see things clearly in the light of fire, so too the words which you speak, it reveals the topic. It throws light on the topic. Or it may reveal your intentions, or it may reveal your emotions, or it may reveal some simple facts also. The very fact that to say you are that, the Tattvabodha asi, that is revealed only through words, only through Shabda. Shastram only says Tattvabodha asi. There is no other pramana to say this. And that is possible only through words. Therefore, Shastram is Shabda pramana. The Shabda is possible only through uttering, through speaking. The words can throw light. The words can give you self-knowledge. Tattvabodha asi. This is one possibility. Another possibility is our speech can produce the heat. When you discuss with some person, initially that is a discussion. Later it may change into your opinion, one's own opinion. Opinion differences may come and it becomes an argument. It becomes a heated argument. That is also possible. The friction is developed and it turns into a heated discussion. So therefore, the speech can produce light, the knowledge as well as heat, the friction. In our parliament, generally a speech produces a heat. Only it produces heat. Whereas in our classroom, it produces knowledge, light. So the speech can produce both the heat as well as the light. Both are possible. Like the fire Agni. Here, the Agni Devata in the form of light refers to the knowledge. Prakashatmika Devata Agni. The fire or the light refers to the knowledge revealed by the speaker. It is not there just blabbering or the argument generating heat. No, it is not what we are. It's not what referred to here. It refers to the knowledge. That is why in the Sanskritam, the first person means in English, the first person is indicated by the name Uttama Purushaha in Sanskrit. Uttama Purushaha is the first person. Uttamaha means the best or the great. The speaker should be the Uttama. Speaker should be the Uttama Purusha. Uttama also means last also. Taking that meaning, it can mean that the speaker should be the last person to open his mouth. What does it mean? It means he must listen to the other persons. He must not consider himself superior. He must have respect for the listener. So therefore, Uttama Purusha. You can see how much importance is given to this, the vak, the speech. Therefore, the speaker should be a Uttama. To say that, the first person is called Uttama Purusha in Sanskrit. The person or the topic under discussion is called Prathama Purusha. And the listener, the person to whom you speak is Antima Purusha. Therefore, the speech whose Adhisthana Devata is Vannihi. The speech should convey knowledge, should give knowledge. That is the idea. Agni is the Adhisthana Devata of the total power of speech, the total power of communication. Here, Agni is the Adhisthana Devata of the total power of communication, the total power of the speech. The Devata which presides over the total power of communication in Vyashti Jiva is Agni Devata. That the Adhisthana Devata, it presides over our speech or our tongue. It is also called Saraswati, Saraswati Devi, Vagdevi. Another name is Brihaspati. Brihaspati also is Devata, Brihaspati. Brigaha means walk. Brigaha means walk. So Brihaspati also means the Devata of walk. So Agni Devata, Saraswati Devata, Brihaspati Devata, they all of them, they represent the total power of communication, the total power of speech. Therefore, to have effective communication, to have control over speech, or to speak that which gives sense, we must pray to Vagdevata, Vagdevi, Saraswati Devi. That is why in Saraswati, the mantra, Prano Devi Saraswati, Vajevir Vajnivati, Dhinama Vitriyadipati, Om Vagdevi Namaha. This is a very mantra. We chant Vagdevi Namaha. We offer our namaskara to Vagdevi to give us this faculty, to use this faculty of speech properly, to enhance the faculty of speech, to speak properly. That is why it's called Uttama Purusha. We all speak Uttama Purusha. That is the idea is even behind in calling a first person in Sanskrit as Uttama Purusha. Okay. The next one is Asta Yogo Rindraha. Here, Asta is hand. Asta Yogo Vidya. Shashti it is Divachanam, Shashti Vibhakti. Asta Yogo Rindraha. Asta hand. It has the power of action, power of movement. Indraha is Indra Devata. Indra, it stands for the Bahu Balam. Bahu is hand, Bahu Balam or Bhuja Balam. The strength in the hand. Hand stands for strength also. So Indra stands for Indra, the Adhisthana Devata is for Bahubalam, Bhujabalam. Strength in the hand. Even the word Bahubali, the Bahubali is famous now. Bahubali. The one who has Balam, the strength in the hand, is called Bahubali. So a Sanskrit word, Bahubali is a Sanskrit word. Akarantaha Pullingaha Bahubalin Shabdaha. If you remember, it is like Karin Shabdaha. Bahubali, Bahubali now, Bahubali naha. It is Bahubali. When you decline it, that becomes Bahubali Dirgha. So, who is the Adhisthana Devata of this Bahu? Indra. Indra is also the head of the Devatas. So, Indra has got great power, great strength. As a Devata, Indra presides over the total power of strength, the total power of activities which is accomplished using hands in Vyashti Jivas. The next one is Padayor Vishnu. Padayogo Vishnu. For Padav, for the feet, the Adhisthana Devata is Vishnu. As the presiding deity, Vishnu Devata, he presides over the total power of movements. Total power of movements in the Vyashti Jivas. Vishnu Devata, especially in his Trivikrama Avatara, Vamana Avatara, he exhibited his power of movement. The story of King Mahabali, the Bhagavata Purana, it can recollect that to understand the connection between the Lord Vishnu and the power of movement. You can do homework in connecting the story to understand this, the power of movement in Vyashti Jiva presided over by the Adhisthana Devata. It's a good homework. You can think about it. The next one is Payor Mrityu. The job of Payu Indriya is to throw out wastage from the system. Who does this job as Adhisthana Devata? Lord Yama. Lord Yama as the Adhisthana Devata, it presides over the total power of cleansing. It presides over the total power of cleansing, and it presides over the sense organs of evacuation in the individual, just the jiva. Lord Yama, he does this job of cleansing. It cleans all the useless things, including the living beings. It is his job. So Lord Yama, he evacuates, he cleans the whole universe. He is a cosmic scavenger. He is a cosmic cleaner. So he is the presiding deity of the organ of evacuation, anus. Also for kidney. For kidney also is the Adhisthana Devata. So Lord Yama represents the power of evacuation, the power of removing the unwanted things, the wastage, things from the body. Yama is also called Dharma Raja. Yama is called Dharma Raja. That is how he is referred to in Kathopanishad. Yama is the presiding deity for removing the people also from the world through death. We should never look down upon Mrityu. Mrityu literally means death. We should never look down upon Mrityu. Because Yama being a presiding Devata, Adhisthana Devata for this cleansing, Yama never does anything which is adharmic. Yama's activities are always dharmic. He never takes to unfair activities. Yama is responsible for preserving the order of the creation. Yama is a dispenser of the results of our action. Our actions, our own karma, it determines the lifespan in the earth. Yama doesn't decide how long we must live in the world. Because Yama doesn't decide. That we decide, but we don't know. The problem is our ignorance. Its job is just to dispense the result of our karma phala. Therefore, it is not fair to look down upon Yama, Mrityu. We all have a date of birth and a date of death, but we don't know the date of death. Even if I create my own cemetery, I can write only my date of birth, not the date of death. Others have to do this. Swami used to say that life is nothing but a small dash between the date of birth and the date of death. And the Yama is absolutely fair in this matter, in preserving the order, the harmony of creation. Therefore, as a presiding deity of Pada Yoga, or the Mrityu, Yama is Ishvara. He maintains the order. As the Adhisthana Devata presiding over the total power of cleansing, in individual it presides over the Vayu, the sense organ of evacuation, removal. His job is to remove. That is the idea. Removing what? Removing unwanted things. That is the idea behind this. The next one is Upastasya Prajapatihi. Prajapati is Brahma. Brahma is it is Brahma. Brahma is Brahmaji. They are referring to the Brahmaji, not Brahma. Brahman is different. Brahmaji is different. Here Prajapati is Brahma Devata. And Brahma Devata is supposed to be the first creator. It stands for the principle of creation. And this Brahma, Prajapati, as the Adhisthana Devata of the total power of creation, he presides over the organ of creation in individuals. Upastasya Prajapati. The Brahma, this Chaturmukha Brahmas, this total power of creation, it alone manifests in the form of the creation in every living being. The only difference is The Brahmaji can create all these species, whereas human being can create only human species. That is the limitation. We have got a limited power of reproducing only our species, whereas Brahmaji has an unlimited power of reproducing all creation. Brahmaji stands for the total potential of creation. That is why Brahmaji has 4 heads. The 4 heads stands for the 4 Vedas. Vedas are nothing but the knowledge, the total knowledge. It stands for the omniscience of Ishvara. The creation is, because of Ishvara, the creation is knowledge. To create, you must have knowledge. And Brahmaji has the 4 Vedas as his 4 head. Therefore, is all knowledge, is Ishvara. So, Brahma as Ishvara, he presides over the job of creation. And he is the presiding deity for the Upastha, the organ of procreation or reproduction. Okay. Now, the author gives the functional field of each sense organ of action. Like what we saw, the functional field of each sense organ of perception, the knowledge. Now, he will give the functional field of Karmendriya. Can repeat after me. Vacho Vishayaha Bhashanam.
Vacho Vishayaha Bhashanam.
Panyor Vishayaha Vastu Grahanam.
Panyor Vishaya Vastu Grahanam.
Padayor Vishayaha Gamanam.
Padayor Vishaya Gamanam.
Payor Vishayaha Malatyagaha.
Payor Vishaya Malatyagaha.
Upastasya Vishayaha Ananda iti.
Upastasya Vishaya Ananda iti.
Okay. So here Vishayaha means the purpose, the prayojana. Vishayaha is here is the prayojana. Vacho Vishayaha Bhashanam. The field of activity of the organ of speech is speaking, Bhashanam. The field of activity of hands is Vastu Grahanam, to grasp objects. Padayor Vishayaha Gamanam. The function of the legs is movement. Payor Vishayaha Malatyagaha. The function of the organ of Payu, the organ of excretion, is wastage removal, elimination of waste. Upastasya Vishayaha Anandaha. The field of activity of the genital organs is Ananda, pleasure. Here, the Bhashanam is only an indicator. It is a Upalakshan. Vacho Vishayaha Bhashanam. You say, Bhashanam is only an Upalakshan. Upalakshanam is, it means it also stands for few things. Vacho Vishayaha Bhashanam. So when you say that the functional activity of the organ of speech is speaking, it means it also includes singing. Singing also includes singing, shouting, all the things what we do with the vak is included. So Bhashanam is only an Upalakshana which covers the whole set of things what we do with the organ of speech. So Vacho Vishaya Bhashanam. Similarly with the other Vishaya also. When you say Vastu Grahanam, the function the have and is Prayojanam of and is not only to grasp objects, it is also to lift, it's also to throw. There are so many functions are there in the hand. So functions of the hand. So we have to include everything. So Bhashanam, Vastugraganam, Gamanam, it's only all these are only Upalakshanam. Okay, these 5 sense organs of action, Karmendriya, they don't belong to the Stula Sharira. By Karmendriya, here what we refer to is the power behind the organ, because of which we are able to do the job, and it's a part of Sukshma Sharira. Here we must note that Atma is distinct from Sukshma Sharira. If Atma is distinct from Sukshma Shariram and Karmendriyas are part of the Sukshma Shariram, therefore Atma must be distinct from the organs of action, Karmendriya. Because it is a form of, it forms a part of Sukshma Shariram. Therefore, I am not any one of the sense organs. The sense organs are operated by me. I am not. It means what? There should not be identification with the sense organs. These are only the instruments or the means given to me to operate. I am the operator behind it. Because of our ignorance or jnana, we have strong identification with different sense organs. Whether it is organs of perception or organs of knowledge. Okay. With this, the author concludes the discussion on Sukshma Sharira. But really speaking, the Sukshma Sharira discussion should not end here. Because if you remember the definition of Sukshma Shariram, Apanchikrita Panchamahabhute Gekritam Satkarmajanyam Sukadukkhari Bhoga Sadhanam Pancha Jnanendriyani we discussed, Pancha Karmendriyani that also we discussed, Pancha Pranadeha that is not discussed, but the author has not discussed also. The author has not mentioned about Pancha Pranadeha, he has not mentioned about Manaha, not about Buddhi. The author immediately he discusses, goes to the next topic, Karana Shariram. But we don't know whether the author has missed out it or we have lost those manuscripts, we don't know. But for the sake of completion, we will discuss this Pancha Pranadaya also. Though we discussed in different contexts, again we will discuss this Pancha Pranadaya and Manaha and Buddhi. These three things we will discuss, though it is not in the text. That we will discuss in the next class. Yes, Solomon.
I think he discusses that when he goes to koshas, pranamaya. There he goes into the Panchavayus, if I remember correctly. I know he's not coming in sequence, but Panchapranas are discussed when he goes to Panchakoshas.
No, that prana is not discussed even in Panchakosha. It is not discussed there. It doesn't discuss. So that we have to supply. As I told you,
Panchakam Pranamaya Koshaha, Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana. That's coming up later. Yeah.
Where does it come in Pranamaya Kosha discussion?
Pranamaya Kaha.
Where it is?
Then I have a different book, so I'm looking at that.
So,
and then in that it says Pranadhyaha Panchavayavo Vagadindriya Panchakam Pranamaya Koshaha.
That's what he says. There he says Panchavayoha he says, but it doesn't discuss all the Pancha Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. That he doesn't discuss. He just mentions that, but he doesn't say what is Prana, what is Apana, what is Vyana, Udana, Samana, and what is Manaha, what is Buddhi. That also is not discussed. These discussions they come in another text called Vedanta Sara. There that we can take from those texts and supply here for the sake of the completion of defining the Sukshma Sharira. Though we know we have discussed Pancha Pranadaya, but still to complete we can discuss that in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. These are simple things. I think you will not have any doubts on this.
Yeah.